Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. While I'm here, I thought I'd do another video that I've been working on, just a walk and talk type thing about anchor babies, about birth tourism. Yeah, the word anchor baby came from Jeb Bush a number of years ago. It's a derogatory term because American politicians, a lot of the American politicians, not all of them, think that that anchor babies or birth tourism is somehow wrong. It's written into the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, I think to be exact, that if you're born in the United States, yes, you automatically become a Canadian or an American citizen. In Canada, it's exactly the same thing. If you're born in Canada on Canadian soil, you automatically become a Canadian citizen. And there's 30 different countries, from Panama to Pakistan to Chile to Mexico. You know, there's you can look it up. There's a number of them. And so there's all of this talk and scourge about Chinese birth tourism from China. Well, you got to understand, China's got 1.4 billion people, so there's probably a larger number of people from China doing birth tourism to the States and Canada than there is from a smaller country like Chile or El Salvador, Guatemala. But keep in mind that there is a lot of people going to places like the United States and Canada from these countries that have children there, and they go there just to have children in those countries. So those children can have that almighty American passport or that almighty Canadian passport. And why do they want this for their children? Well, fast forward say 18-20 years, when the child's out of high school and wants to go to university. University in China, well, yeah, you can do that. Or you can go to university in the United States because you've got a United States passport. Yeah, because you're a citizen. If, say you're a Canadian, I know lots of Canadians that have done this. They went down into the United States, no visa required. Go down to the States, have a baby. Baby's an American. Yeah, you can have dual citizenship. So you got a Canadian passport, got an American passport. When the kid wants to go to school, they've got more of a choice. You can go to, University of Southern California. You can go to, Texas or New York or whatever, and you don't need student visas. You don't need any of these things because you're an American citizen. So, and then employment too. You can go to. You've basically got most of North America that you can work in or look for employment in. If you like the weather in Arizona in the wintertime, you can work there. It just opens up so many avenues. But the big thing is picking on the Chinese and saying, oh, the Chinese are doing this and the Chinese are doing that, and they're going over birth tourism, and there's a write-up of some Chinese businessman getting arrested in California for running an illegal birth tourism business. Okay. Well, birth tourism isn't illegal. Maybe running the businesses. I don't know about that, but I do know in Canada, because I did a lot of immigration work in Canada, that birth tourism is a legal thing, and it's actually promoted by the Canadian government. And why do they do this? Well, I'll tell you. First thing is that Canada's always looking for more people because the population is low in Canada, and as they build up the population, there's more taxpayers. Oh, the birth tourism brings money into Canada. The hospitals, people going there, staying, renting a place, hotels, food, this, that, and the other thing. It all brings money in. Plus, you've got this little tyke that is carrying a Canadian passport now. Where do you think that little guy is going to go to university? And just think the parents, they say, oh yeah, my kid can go to university in Canada, learn in English, already knows Chinese. Yep, so they're more of a multinational type of person. International education is a great thing for Chinese kids. Help them with the competitive world of China. Doesn't mean they have to stay in Canada their whole life, but it does mean that they've got a leg up over other Chinese people because their English skills are better. Of course, their English skills are better. They're taught in English in Canada. Okay, well, so that's great. They can either live in Canada or come back and live in China and work in either place. But you have to watch out, because that Chinese child with a Canadian passport, there is no dual citizenship in China. So if you're a Canadian citizen, you cannot carry a Chinese passport. If you're a Chinese citizen, you cannot carry a Canadian passport. My wife found that out when she became a Canadian. They took her aside and took her Chinese passport away from her. Oh, she figured that she didn't have to do visas because she's got this. Oh no, it didn't work that way. It came up and bite her in the butt real quick. But so the thing is that there's pros and cons, because I know a lot of Chinese people that have given up their Chinese citizenship for Canadian citizenship, and they regret it. Don't let me forget the cost of secondary education. If you got a Canadian passport or an American passport, foreign students get hosed, like really hosed, when on tuition fees in Canada and the United States. But if you got a Canadian passport or American passport, you pay way less. So, you know, that's another pro for being an anchor baby, I guess, is what it's called. Another thing, the parents of these anchor children get benefits too, because the chance of them being kicked out of that country when, say the child is an American and the parents are from someplace else, well, who's going to take care of that little American baby, that little American citizen? They're not going to just shuffle it off to a foster home. No. What they're going to do is they're going to make sure that mom and dad are close to that kid, because they know that the mother and the father are the best people to take care of that child, child's welfare. You know, so resident permits, work permits, so they're in the country too. After the child turns 18, sponsors mom and dad, bingo bango, they're citizens too. So it's I guess that's where the term anchor baby comes from. One of the things that people worry about when they're doing this birth tourism, and I've seen it a number of times, is that there's a question on the application, the visa application, temporary resident visa application, that says, do you have any medical or mental issues? And they think that they have to say, yes, I'm pregnant on that. No. And even if you do put that down, that's not a grounds for not getting a visa. Grounds for not getting a visa is, well, you won't return to your own country. We don't believe that you'll go back to your own country after your visa expires. Things like that. So it's not illegal to go to Canada. It's not illegal to go to the United States when you're pregnant just to have a child. And that question, if you say no to both of those, you're telling the truth, because being pregnant is not a medical issue. So where the stigma of anchor babies comes from is uneducated politicians. They spout, they tell you what you want to hear. They're speaking to the right-wing evangelical redneck crowd that don't like immigrants, and they want everything the way it was in the 1950s. They're playing to that crowd because they figure that getting the votes from that crowd will make them win the next election, and that's all it is. If these politicians went to nice Porsche, if these politicians went and talked to an immigration officer, went and talked to an immigration lawyer, even an immigration consultant, they would tell them under no certain terms that birth tourism, coming to a country like Canada, the United States, is not illegal. It's a good thing. It brings money to the country. It brings the right type of people to the country, people that have money. Because if you're going to a foreign country to have a child, chances are to fly there, to do the medical expenses, to go through all of this stuff for the betterment of your child, chances are you got money and you're not going to be a draw on the system. And a lot of you are going to say, I know, well, what about them damn Mexicans and people from El Salvador? And you mean the hard-working people that pick your vegetables and your fruits all winter long in places like Yuma, Arizona? Yeah, they're good people too. They're not on the system. they're working stiffs, and those type of people are going to teach their children to be working stiffs too. Oh, and that's another thing. These little American and Canadian children are going to grow up. They're going to go to school. They're going to get educated, and you know what? They're going to be paying taxes all through their employment time in that country. So there's going to be money being made, tax money off of these children until they're old like me. Yes. So you know, there's a lot of pros and very little cons dealing with anchor babies and birth tourism to places like Canada and the United States. The other countries, Pakistan, no. Chile, not bad, yeah. Costa Rica, beautiful place. You know, places like this, Panama or Mexico even. Mexico's getting a little bit dangerous, but you know what I mean. It's there's more pros and cons when dealing with something like this. I hope that puts a lot of your minds at ease, because this is a hot topic in places like China. This has been a hot topic in the States with Trumponomics and the bullshit he flies around, and Scheer in Canada. Yeah, the Conservatives could be one of the reasons they lost that last election. How the hell do you lose an election against Trudeau? I just don't get it. Like it's like I don't know, running against one of the most stupid people in the world and you still lose? Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Hit the bell. Oh, and look at your subscribe button, because I've been getting lots of complaints that people are being unsubscribed by YouTube on my channel. So check your subscribe button and make sure you're still subscribed. And as always, the Helping Hands Children Foundation that we set up on the Patreon account, it's getting better, it's getting bigger. There's more people donating to it, and I appreciate it. There's little cards that say "Make me proud" on this video. If you push one of those cards, you'll be directed right to the Patreon account. Give a couple of bucks. There's a link in the description and the top right corner of the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye now.